Welcome to this week's episode of That 4x4 Show. It is my privilege to be off 4x4ing, and I get to test not one, but two cars. We also take a drive in a Volkswagen Amarok Arctic version, and we visit the four-wheel drive trucking company to find out how far they are with our project vehicles, and we get to drive a 4x4 trail on the backstep of Randburg. So the last couple of weeks I've seen Tumelo all over the place, and the poor guy's been literally roughing it. And I decided it's about time I probably took one for the team again. So I picked the perfect day. I mean, it's really cold, it's windy, looks like it's going to rain. But bearing in mind at my age, of course, I need to start taking things a lot easier. This is Mercedes' GLA, a crossover based on the recently reborn A-Class hatch. I'll leave it up to you to decide if it's good looking or not, but one thing is clear. The GLA is unashamedly aimed at the fashion-conscious market. The interior is typical A-Class and modern Mercedes. So yes, this Benz is flash and luxurious and super safe and is packed with technology, but at more than 550,000 Rand, you can have a top-of-the-range double cab 4x4 with some change to spare. And by now, some of you hardcore off-roaders are probably thinking, what the hell is he doing with a pavement special? Heck, can the GLA even do pavements? The reason why I'm driving this Mercedes-Benz GLA is that we had a question from one of our viewers wanting to know, how far off-road can you take a so-called crossover? Well, I guess today is the day we're going to find out. To see just how far the GLA 220 CDI can or can't go off-road, I've headed west out of Johannesburg to the Magaliesburg area. My first impressions of this car? Honestly, very flashy. There's a couple of practical issues here that I don't enjoy. Number one is the tiny windows, so your vision is obscured. You really need a master's degree to understand the entertainment system and how it works. So it's not a matter of just getting in and feeling at home and using the systems. It's not that easy. Not a bad drive at all. 7-speed gearbox, DSG gearbox that is. Diesel 2.2 liter motor, and yes, it goes. It really does go. The GLA's turbo diesel engine delivers 125 kilowatt of power and 350 newton meters of torque from as low as 1,400 RPM. On this road, punches can cause a major issue for the GLA. You see, it doesn't have a spare wheel at all. It hardly makes sense for a crossover not to have a spare wheel, especially here in Africa. And what about 4x4 driving then? So that's why we've come here to Breitenix Pass, where we're really going to test the abilities of the crossover. Just have a look at the sign. Road in bad condition, used at own risk. Indeed, I will do just that. This gravel road pass offers a scenic link between Magaliesburg and the Buffelspoort Dam. Over weekends, it is frequented by off-road motorcycles, people who have not heard of the internal combustion engine yet, as well as 4x4s. This two-wheel drive crossover had to turn around, and you'll soon see why. Things are looking rather gloomy for the Benz. So this is where the fun and games actually start. I don't think this should be too difficult. Maybe with a little bit of outside assistance in terms of guiding from the production team, we should get through here in a breeze. So let's do this. Right, so with the off-road system activated, I slowly edge forward with a spotter directing my line and keeping a close eye on that low front bumper. The overhang is not ideal for this kind of thing at all. The GLA ain't going up here, not on this line. So after packing some rocks to lift the front bumper a few millimeters higher, I have another go. And slowly, very slowly, the GLA's bumper clears the ruts, while the rear wheel bags plenty of airtime. Got through that. A little bit here, a little bit there, but here we are. No scratches, no dents, no damage.
Although the GLA had cleared the first obstacle, a major challenge still awaited at the highest point of the pass. A rocky section where the evidence of plenty of mishaps are clear to see. And here I have no option but to rely on a spotter to guide me through the worst parts. Although the Benz has an off-road button that changes the 4MATIC system settings to improved off-road performance as well as hill descent control, the very obvious lack of ground clearance and major overhangs limit its off-roading ability in a major way. Anyway, all goes well up to one point, where the trendy nose is on a clear collision course with a very hard rock. So we have to back up and try a new line. And that's better. Bumper clears the rock just. After a few more misses and a few more grey hairs in the cabin, the GLA finally makes it past the rocks. Now just a few hundred meters left and we're done.
Okay, so we made it. Would I want to do this every day with this car? Nope, not at all. This is one of the worst roads you could probably bring a crossover vehicle on. Having said that though, this vehicle would probably handle most of the worst roads in South Africa that you could throw over it, or rather at it. The on-road handling of this vehicle is really awesome. It's low slung, the power is there, the handling is absolutely awesome. But however, when you start getting to situations where you need to be able to see properly, the fact that you're not sighted is a huge issue. The seriously slanted windscreen, the smaller windows, hence the fact that we needed some outside assistance to get through some of the most difficult parts. But having said all of that, remember this is only a crossover, okay? How far would I have to go with a typical soft roader to push its buttons and take it to the limit?
If you're new to the 4x4 lifestyle, the Wedge 4x4 trail is a very good introduction, and the bonus, it is a mere rock throw away from Randburg. The Wedge 4x4 trail, situated just off Beyers-Naudé Drive near the N14 Krugersdorp Highway, offers a great introduction to the world of 4x4 trails for off-roading novices. Rated at a level of 2 out of 5, the trail is about 4 kilometers long and will take about 2 hours to complete if you take it easy and take in the sights and sounds. The trail starts off pretty easy and slowly the difficulty level is increased. The tyre obstacle is not terribly difficult, but the ideal line is vital here. Feeling adventurous, the swamp offers a sticky test, but since we were alone on the track and didn't particularly feel like digging the Fortuner out of the mud, we gave this one a skip. Various other obstacles offer some challenges, but if you are a highly experienced off-roader driving a modified 4x4, you will not be particularly challenged on the main course. Once you are done 4x4ing, you can always have a cold one at the bar or indulge in a bit of Murensuk, otherwise known as golf, as you practice those shots on the driving range. For more information on the centrally located trail, visit our Facebook page.
It's time to catch up to find out what's happening with our project vehicles, the Jeep and the Fortuner. And so we head out to the four-wheel drive trucking company.
In the four-wheel drive trucking company workshop, the team set about installing the AluCab drawer system in the space previously occupied by the Jeep's rear seat. Custom wooden boards have to be cut, and then these boards are covered with hardy carpet. This is quite a process, and a lot of industrial glue is used to ensure that the carpet doesn't get unstuck. A fridge will also be installed, along with a dual battery system. The Ruby truck and Jeep is now in the final straight of its makeover, with a checkered flag waiting around the corner, and we can't wait to take the Jeep into the Bundes. Another project that is fast coming together is the 33-inch Toyota Fortuner. A few weeks ago, the team fitted a replacement TJM bull bar. This is a more intricate process than just removing the plastic bumper and fitting the metal one. The original bumper is obviously removed first, and then the new bar is fitted. However, this leaves a big gap between the headlight line and the new bumper, which is fixed by cutting the original bumper to exact measurement to fill in that gap. A front runner roof rack, along with its accessories, was also fitted. This aluminium rack is light and strong, and it even comes with an optional water tank. With the custom-made wheel arches being fitted and final adjustments made as required, South Africa's first Arctic truck Fortuner is already attracting attention in the four-wheel drive trucking company workshop. The all-new rear bar has also just about been completed, with only the spare wheel swing arm that has to be fitted.
The 35-inch Arctic truck Amarok looks lean and mean and ready to conquer just about anything.
Well, we're here at the Voortrekker Monument, where the South African 4x4 and outdoor show gets hosted. We're here to check out this Arctic Amarok. There's been lots of jokes about the Amarok, almost more than Land Rover, but this is one mean Amarok.
Yep, as far as Volkswagen Amarok bakkies go, this is one impressive looking ride. Over to Gary for more details on the upgrades.
Well, as you can see, we've accommodated these 35-inch Dixapec tires on a 17x10 rim. To get this in, we had to cut a lot of the bodywork out on the inside. We put the bigger arches on that cover them in nicely. To accommodate these wheels as well, we had to put in a 50mm lift, so we opted to put in the TJM Gold Edition suspension. We also fitted a snorkel to this vehicle, and from there we can move around to the front of the vehicle. We fitted a TJM bull bar. We fitted the new TJM Plasma winch. I love this facility where the winch is hidden behind the number plate. It hinges and you've got access to your winch. This bumper is also fitted with the LED light bar, and we also fitted a rear bumper on the back of this vehicle. So this Amarok is ready for any adventure you can throw at it.
But the proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? The Amarok comes standard with traction control, and this 132 kilowatt version hardly battles on these basic 4x4 obstacles with the rear differential lock still on the reserve bench. The extra articulation afforded by the TJM suspension, along with the generous ground clearance, ensure that the Amarok can go just about anywhere, anytime, anyway.
Well, if you want to see this Amarok in the flesh, get to the South African 4x4 and outdoor show, the 21-22 March. Cheers, guys.
So here we are at De Wild 4x4 track. I'm here with a typical soft-roader SUV. As you can see, there's no low range, no diff locks, just a computer to decide what's going to happen, average ground clearance. So let's see how far we can go before we push the wrong buttons.
This is a BMW X3 3-litre D, and as far as soft-roaders go, it's pretty awesome. Almost as big as the original X5, the latest X3 is big on a lot of things. The first is luxury. The cabin is filled with luxuries and technology, and the quality of everything is really impressive. The sound system, the funky gear lever, the practical usability of the controls, it's all impressive. The exterior is also sleek and modern, and BMW has come a long way since the awkward Chris Bangle design era. This X3 is big on power and ability too, but more on that soon. Let's hit the trail and see how far we get. Oh boy, here's holding thumbs. The X3 makes it out of here in one piece. And it's not long before I arrive at the first big obstacle, also known as Bobbejaan Kiri, or baboon's walking stick. Time for a reality check.
204 millimeters of ground clearance, no low range, no diff lock. I don't think so.
Although there would be no point to damage the Beamer, I'm here to see how far I can take a soft-roader off-road. So I head up the escape route, and well, it completes this climb with no dramas. Ditto going down the hill, and I engage the hill descent control, but initially that doesn't work out so well. So on I went, regardless. So let's talk power. The BM's 3-litre turbo diesel engine delivers 190 kilowatts of power and 560 newton meters of torque at 2000 RPM. All that power is transferred to all four wheels via the X-Drive system and a super slick 8-speed automatic gearbox. This BMW is fast, very fast, and smooth as well. But back to the 4x4 trail. There are a lot of humps on the track, and these mini obstacles are proving to be a bit of an obstacle for the low-slung X3.
So if you're going to go off-roading in your fancy schmancy BMW X3, leave the wife, the kids, the mother-in-law, everybody, leave them at home. Because that added weight is going to create another set of problems because of the ground clearance. And these little humps that you see here are critical because it's to stop soil erosion. So a simple little thing like this could give you a nightmare.
On a positive note again, the BMW's approach and departure angles are much better than the Merc GLA's. And so far, the snazzy soft-roader SUV is proving much more capable than the snazzy crossover. And then we arrived at a rather imposing obstacle, a water crossing, followed by a slippery climb through some big holes and ruts. So I decided to see how far the BMW will go up here before it succumbed to the impossible or seemingly impossible task. The water is dispatched easily enough thanks to the good approach angle, and now the BMW will most certainly brake. But somehow the traction control keeps it going up and up and over.
Take that, sucker. I must be honest, I didn't think it's going to make it, but I'm surprised. But then again, it's a matter of adjusting your lines, correct lines, and the right momentum, and let the system do its work. Sometimes I have a problem with that.
Well, I really did not expect the X3 to go up there. Anyway, deciding to quit while I'm ahead before I make an expensive dent in the 750,000 Rand BMW, I headed out of De Wild, slightly flabbergasted. On the way out, I tackled a few more really tough obstacles just to make sure that climb wasn't a fluke, but it was no fluke.
So I've just had my fun in the sun day today with both the Mercedes-Benz GLA and the BMW X3. Let me put it in context. 500,000 versus 700,000 Rand, okay? Both of them are great in their applications. The Mercedes-Benz, great handling car, but please bear in mind it is what is termed a crossover. So don't think that is something you're going to be able to take off-road proper, because first and foremost, ground clearance is a real issue. On the other hand, the BMW X3 really did surprise me today. After my experience this morning with the Mercedes, us coming here to De Wild today with the X3, I didn't have much hope. But I must be honest with you, I am pleasantly surprised. And to be very honest with you, I think with some guidance and with a clear mind, a BMW X3 like this could actually be a lot of fun on a course like De Wild. But if I had to choose which one of these lovely ladies were to go home with me tonight, it'll be the BMW. With the economic downturn, as you can see, Tumelo and I next week head out and we test some budget SUVs. In the meantime, please keep the rubber on the road.